So all the the formatting skills that we applied here, that's what we'll apply on the second page as well. The background, we can just, go on, I'll click on the background, the Canva background, and just copy the code, and it's even here, but I'll copy the code just in case. I'll Control C this code and just come and use it for the page 2 as well. I need a background, the Canva background within the wallpaper setting, and yes, it's this one. So that part is sorted. Okay. But before we start working on that second one, what we've done so far.
Sorry, excuse me. When you copied from the other wallpaper, when you press copy, you didn't paste it?
I did. So when I came here to copy the color code, here, this one, Control C. So immediately you do this, it's highlighted already. So we just do Control C. Then we come here and okay, I didn't paste it because the color was already showing. Yeah, normally I would come here and paste it, but the color was already showing. It's not disappeared. I copied because I thought if I come on this page and I can't find the color, then I'll just paste straight away. But when I came here, it was already present. If it wasn't present, I'll just, Control V the color I copied, and it will just give us exactly the color, and that's it really there. Okay. I think because I came here to open up this color palette here, because I came here to do this, that automatically, brought this color on. So any color, any recent color you have used, they are the ones, and it says recent colors. They are the ones that you would find laid out here for you, arranged here for you, so that you can reuse them in case you want to reuse them, So, and it's right there. That's the color. Okay. So, but one thing we haven't done with this page, so we've put the KPIs out. Those are the KPIs that we've put out. We've also arranged the questions just in order. We can see how our team leaders performed in terms of profit sharing, our top 5 commission earners. I think I clicked something. Okay. Our top 5 commission earners, the fruits that are less than 10K in availability for season 3, quantities that were sold per day. And we were told to show which day was showing the highest. A chart of number of items sold per day, a list of fruits. There's a chart showing the most profitable day of, okay. So what we have on that first page is all right. We have top total profit by team leader, top 5 commission earners, a chart of number of items sold per day, which is this bottom one here. Okay. Quantity sold per day. So we are fine. We did say that we need to put data labels because we see all these bars and there's no number to it. Okay, so the work here is not complete yet until we show what number each bar represents. So I'll click on it and go back into the paintbrush, and we can add data label. I'll switch the data label on, and we see it says 0.96 million, 0.91 million, 1.06 million. So I think we are better off leaving the units like that. And I say that because if we decide to remove the million units, the numbers will be too long and they would overlap. Okay, so under data labels, is asking about orientation. If I put vertical, okay, it aligns it like that. That would not be easy to read, okay? But if I return it to horizontal, I think that's easier to read for anyone. Overflow text, okay, that's not helpful. Optimize label, dispersion, or optimize label what? Use truncation and width control to enhance visibility. Okay, that's not anything that I understand. The title, we don't need total quantity as title on top there. We already know this is about quantity, so I'll switch that off. Okay, the value is on. If I off it, it means the values disappear. So we need the values, so they are on. And under value, let's see what more we can do. Okay. Okay, the Arial is fine for color. For color, it says gray at the moment. If we change it to black, does it? I don't see much difference. Looks like there is a bit of difference. I just don't see it. Okay. The position, there should be somewhere where it tells us about the position, but I can't see any position here. Would have been nice for us to see if we can place it not just on top, but maybe at the middle, just to see what it looks like. Under display unit, so it's automatically picked this as millions, which helps in this case. If I decide to put none, okay, it could work. So we see that as 964,393, 907,000, but it can't show some other ones. It's omitting a few ones because of overlapping, there's going to be overlapping happening. Okay, so I'm thinking that if we decide to use the millions, oh no, auto, not, yeah, if we use the auto, 0.96 million, we know that that's almost a million, you see. There's no decimal. Oh, there is. But if I remove the decimal, that won't all go well. So it just rounds up everything to 1 million, and that's not true. So let's go back to our auto. Okay, or 2 decimal places was the auto. So there's no blank here. It says show blank as 0, but we don't have any day where there was no quantities that were sold. Let me switch on this detail and see what's under detail. Maybe if you want to use any of these data to show further details. I've never used that, so I'm not gonna go too much into it. Each of these data labels, if you want background to them, okay, such that, maybe you want them to, I don't know, to pop out. So the current background says is black. Let's see if we use something like this. And now this is me just playing around with colors, okay, I see why it's not, there's transparency here. Okay. So let's go back. If we decide to put that, is that too much? Is that too much, or are we better off just leaving it without?
It looks busy.
So maybe we leave it without the background actually. Just let it be. So what's on that layout? multi-line, single line. Let's see what single line looks like. I can't see any difference with this. Nothing changed. Okay, nothing changed there. So I'm gonna, I'll ignore that, behave as if it doesn't exist, you know. So now we have a little bit more context to what each of these is. And we can see that 1.06 million sold the highest, which was the highest quantity, which was the ninth day, you know, of January. Okay. So that is answered, you know, like that. All right. Now, one other thing we need to do is to design the top. Okay, could just be, this is where you bring the company's logo in, you know, a kind of whatever your logo is for work. You can position it in the corner here or there, or use it for the whole of the top, depends on what yours is. But in this case, we are just going to put a text box to show what it is we are trying to show here. Okay, and this talks more about if we want to sum up this page, what would you say is the information that this page majorly gives you? That would help us to know what we are putting in the text. If I go into insert and we insert text box, you know, and the text box will go on top here where we can type something, you know, something that shows what this is about. Okay, so how would you say we show them? We can see all the KPIs, the profit and commission analysis. How do we summarize this page now? An overview, do we think it could be an overview of profit and sales? Of profit, no, sales first. An overview of sales, profits, and commission analysis, something in that region. Let's see if we would need to make that better. We put that at 16 or 20, it needs to be bold. Is 20 too much? Maybe not. We can align it to the middle. Okay. We can have it as the deep color there, font. So maybe this color. And then let's see what that looks like. Maybe we can make it bold. Okay. Now that's not completely blending in well in terms of the background of it. Okay, so if we come into the format function here and look at properties, maybe effects, the color of the background at the moment is white. So if I decide to disappear it and make it transparent so that we have it like that, if I click out for how's that looking? Okay, what do we think? What do we think? Is this all right?
It's
And
okay, boy. It doesn't really look like a title.
It
uh,
blends too much with the background color.
do you want it to have a background of its own?
I
I
think
think
so.
so.
Okay. So if we go here and or completely remove the what's it called? The transparency. Do we want it as white background? Or do we want the text to be black and not blue? Let's see.
Let's explore.
Can you try black and let's see what it looks like?
All right, let's try black. So if we use black, we get that.
It's different.
Is it good different or not?
It's just different.
Let me see if we can use the background of these ones. The effect we had 30% white color.
So when we are at work, this is how we'll be playing around with it.
Like toy, yes.
This one takes time.
It does. That's what.
Well, they will give you a deadline.
Exactly.
I mean, sometimes they give you enough
deadline.
time. At the end of the day, what matters is more that your analysis is right. The rightness of it supersedes the all this contouring we are giving it.
That we are trying to put.
Exactly. So it's like, is it right or is it beautiful? Which one it takes priority? So where we are talking about urgency, the rightness of your report is what you are after more than anything, you know. But where there is time, yeah, you can then start to put the cosmetics in, you know, for it. Okay. So should we leave this like that, but change to an overview of sales profit and commission analysis? It describes the page, you know. I think it describes what we are looking at. We are looking at sales profits, quantity sold as well. But all of that is, we can just leave it as sales and profit analysis. What do we think? It's your work. It depends on what you believe is right. More than anything, I want us to notice that we must, I don't know if must is the right word to use, but it's good to ensure alignment. You see how the top of this card is in alignment with this and this and this. It just makes everything sharp. You know, if we are able to achieve that, and how this part is aligning with this one, and this part here is aligning with this as well. You see, all of those little finishing touches, they matter, you know, at the end of the day. Okay, so an overview. This page is just overview page, to be honest. It's just giving you a glimpse of what is within that data set. Okay. Is there anything at all within our task description that we can pick? Says the purpose of this exercise. No, not that one. Sales order shows the approach team. Because you see, what would help is normally whoever gives you this would tell you the reason behind why all these questions are being asked. Why do we want to know the total profits by team leader? Are we doing appraisal or what? Why are we looking for top 5 commission earners? You know, it's the why that's driving these questions. That's what will determine what name we are calling this report. You can say sales analysis report, or it could be that appraisal, sales, employee appraisal, report, okay? Because we are talking about the team leaders, we are looking at the top 5 commission earners, we are looking at what quantities are sold, per day. So it's giving us performance of the team leaders, the performance of the employees themselves, the salespersons, okay, and how we are performing in terms of the quantities we are selling per day. You see, so based on this, we can say business performance analysis. Oh, I shouldn't have cleared all of them out. Business performance analysis. And it's for the month. You see, it's a monthly thing. So when we are in next month, we'll have a page. This will be updated.
Business performance.
You said?
Will it now be January business performance?
Monthly business performance.
It's not right to mention the month.
Yeah, because you see, it will be done in such a way that the current month is what it will be showing you. And
okay.
I will tell you I'll show you what I mean by that. This was put on 20. This was bold and we used black. So we should be fine now. Okay. So normally we can click out, okay? And if we come into this page now, okay, and I want it to always show the performance of the current month, or if current month is not feasible, is not applicable, maybe last month. It depends on how the business operates. Some businesses, the report, all the data for last month will just be coming in the first week of the current month. So what the best you can see, now we are in August, this is August 7th. So the best you can see would be July's report at this point. Not until maybe by the end of August, or first week in September, before you see the report for August, okay? So if that's the case, and you want this to always, you don't want to always want to come in and pick this month, next month, whatever month, okay? So you can filter on the page. We want everything on this page based on the date, okay? So I can bring the date in under filter on this page. I can say that I don't want to use basic filtering. I want to use relative date. Okay, so relative date. And I say show items when the value is in the last, okay, in the last in the last 1 month, okay? I can put 1 here in the last 1 month, okay? And include today. If I don't want it to include today, I won't untick this, and I will apply the filter. Now this goes blank because this data set is in 2018. And I've said show data in the last 1 month. The last 1 month would be July 2025. And in the data set, the date is not showing that. That's why everything went blank. Okay. But that's how you would normally need to, you can pull your date in, and say in the last 1 month, and filter on that, so that every time you are coming in, it is showing you data. You've automated that, so to say. So it's automatically showing you data within the last 1 month every time. So it's not you that's going in there, to sort that out. Okay, so let's assume that this is July, yes. If this was a July 2025 report, because, and I put monthly there because it's just based on 1 month, okay? And maybe we have a monthly meeting where the operations managers need to showcase this to the CEOs. You see, this comes in handy. You know, they can easily say, okay, for next month, what's our plan? Is there any way for us to double up on profit? Okay, which products, or no, not even before we start with products, which employees did perform the most, and on which products gave us. Okay, so Albert, if I click on Albert, you see how each of these can filter each other, you see. So what we are saying is that Albert, the total cost of the products that Albert worked on is this, and that's brought in this much sales. And these are the total quantities of products that Albert sold. And this was the profit that Albert made us, you see. And that's why his commission is the highest. Those are really huge figures, you know. And same goes for Eva as well. And before I leave Albert, Albert is under Team Gary. We see a bit of highlights there, okay? And I think this is a good place to talk about interactions within within each of these. You see how when I clicked on this, filtering happened, okay? And if I click on Yvette as well, we see under Yvette is a team leader for Robert. Robert's the only one highlighted on here, okay? And we see for each of the days, the quantities that were sold, you know, under this team leader that I picked. And this was how much was made, you know, in terms of the KPIs, okay? Now, this is not interacting because it's a standalone, you know, it's a standalone table. It's a table that's just showing fruits available. Logically, it has nothing, you know, to do with every other thing that it says, just a list on its own, okay? So we can use, without you needing a slicer, we can use each of these to filter each other, okay? But if when I filter, it's I'm confused with what I'm saying. The kind of interaction we are having now is called highlight. So when I click on that, it's just highlighting, it's just making others that are not relevant to the information, it makes them grayed out while it deepens the concerned data. So we can either have that happens, that's the default setting, you know, for this filtering, or I can come on format, I think, and I can say that I want to edit interaction, you see. And when I edit interaction, I can, because I'm clicking on this, I'm saying that anytime I use this to filter the rest, I want to state how I want it to show. Now, if you observe, each one of them have 2 icons. One, okay, the cards have 2 icons. One with a 0 and a slash, meaning none. Can you see when I hover on it, it says none? That is, anytime I'm clicking on this, I don't want this to interact. I leave this alone. Don't let this number change. Or I'm saying filter. So you see that, you see the funnel, filter this or leave it alone. Okay. So let's say that for this report, I require that when I click on this, I need total cost to not show. So I'll click to not change, rather. I'll click none. So meaning don't filter. And I'll click filter for this one. Okay. And I'm saying, okay, actually for total cost and sales, I say none. but I want to see their product, the quantity they sold and the profit they brought in. So I'll say filter and filter and filter as well. Okay, that's how it works for cards. Only 2 icons are shown for cards. Okay, remember that I clicked on this already. Okay, but for the other visuals, there are 3 icons showing. We see the none, which means none. We see something like a bar here, which means highlight. Now, what we've seen so far is highlight. And then we see the actual filter. So I'll say, I'll put a filter on this. I'll say filter here when I'm using this to change things around. But for this one, highlights, I want us to see the difference between everything. So for this, we said none, no interaction. For this, we want interaction, filter. For this, I'm saying filter and not the highlights. But for this one, I'm saying highlight it. Then if I now come and click on, let's say I click on Gary. Gary is the dark blue one. If I click on Gary, let's see what happens. Okay, now when I clicked on Gary, this remains the same. Total cost, total sales remains the same. Total quantity is being filtered. The profit that Gary brought has been, filtered, and we have 40%. Did filtering happen? Let me click that again. I don't think I saw it well. This is what I was expecting to see. It just happened now. Okay, now these 2 we said don't interact, so the numbers remain the same. This is the total quantity that Gary sold in his team. This is the profit that was made in Gary's team, and their profit margin is 39%. Now, remember that I said I needed to filter here. I'm not sure that filtering happened though, because it's like these numbers remain the same. Now, this is what highlight looks like. Can you see? These have been highlighted. What this means to me is that in Gary's team, we don't have top 5 commission earners. Okay, that's why nothing happened here. The top 5 commissions, none of them belongs to Gary's team. Okay, but highlight is the part that is darker. That's the part that's the answer to your question. That is, when I clicked on Gary's team, I can see that Gary's team sold 0.23 million quantities on the 4th of January, 0.19 million on the 6th of January, and so on. The lighter part, those ones are not part of your information. That is highlight, okay? Now I'm going to remove that, okay, and change this to filter now instead of highlight. I'll say filter, then we'll see how filter works. Still retaining Gary. I'll click on Gary. Okay, a few things have changed here. Okay, and you see, when I change it to filter, it just it did not, show a part darker and the rest not the rest light. It just completely filtered out anything that is not part of what you need and brought the exact information. As we saw before, 0.23 million under Gary's team was sold on this day. 0.19 million was sold on this day, as compared to what it was showing us when we highlighted. When you highlight, you get this effect. When you filter, you get this effect. I feel filtering gives less confusion. Sometimes highlighting could be confusing because you're looking at this, you're looking at that as well. But if you filter, you just faced with the information that you need. Okay. I'm just trying to look at what happened. Because when I clicked this, I see a bit, okay, you know what? We'll get to the bottom of this. Let me highlight this and see what happens. Okay. So Albert and Eva are highlighted, yes. So 14,000. So the Albert and Eva are in Gary's team, and these ones are not. Basically, that's what that is telling us. But when we clicked on this before, I thought, okay, I see. So Robert is in Luke's team. And if we click on Yvette, I see. That makes sense. Willow and Millie are in Yvette's team. So that is how highlight works. But if we are to, let me undo that. If we are to use filter, so I'm using filter now, I'm expecting to see only, so what I'm expecting it to, I see. So the name changed. So under Yvette, these are the top 5 commission earners. So the commission earners change each time. Under Luke, these are the top 5 commission earners. You see how that works. And under Gary, these are the top 5 commission earners. So the way this worked, I think is different from the way the rest work. And the way it worked as highlighted and as filters is also different as well. And this is why it's good to understand your report well, so that it's not in front of those you are presenting it to that you are now trying to understand it. You would have, like we said before, played around with it, see how it's working, see what you want to remove if it's not something you can understand, you can explain with that much confidence, maybe because even you don't understand what's happening just yet. You take it out and go back to try and understand it. So that's how you can use your different visuals to interact with each other. Okay. So we can do that, or you can decide to have slicers. Maybe we'll introduce the concept of, because we don't have space on this page, we can introduce the concept of slicers. I think we'll have more space here when we come and work on here. Okay, but within the few seconds that we have, we can arrange this page. Then we've worked up to a list of fruits available. So total cost per region, along with total cost per region along with this one. This is the first one for this part. Okay, so and then that's not what I need. Total costs, average commission paid by ops managers. Average commission paid by ops managers, that would be this one. Okay. And we say that it's nice for these to align. We can reduce this a little. And then I think that's the next one. Our chart showing the most profitable day of the week, total cost of exceptions. Okay. Now, because of the nature of the chart that's showing the most total cost of the exception, this. Okay. I didn't put shadow effect on any of this yet. So we can go in, trying to remember where that is on this visual. Effects. Okay, it's under effect. Let's do that for each of it. Just makes the visual not look too flat, Okay. And then we can then start looking at, I think this is taking up too much space. It's just one, it's just the one. Yeah. So this needs to expand out more because we are going to actually increase font and all of that on these ones. Let's save that. Let me see what we did with backgrounds here. Background of each of the charts, effects. Okay, so why it's just 30% transparency. So you can copy that. Most of the time when I try to, like this, when I try to format paint and come on another page, it gets lost in transit. It doesn't work, you know. So it looks like format painting only works when you are copying the formatting on the same page. Okay, so we have that. Let's finish formatting, then we can copy it out as much as possible across. If we go into the visualize the values more than anything that needs to, I'm watching the time, by the way, so we'll soon be out of it. I'm just increasing maybe we'll remove decimals so that that is more readable. Okay, so um 12 is all right, I think. Okay. And if I come here and change decimal to 0, decimal points to 0, that should do it for that one. Total cost as well to 0, just so that that's space, there's space to do better. So that's, yeah. And then it would be the column headers too. They are too small. So apart from the values, column headers, we can do better with the column headers. So maybe change them to 12 as well, or 13. We can make them bold. We can align them to the center. Did that pick well? Okay. If this were, yes, we can space things out a little bit. Yeah, when I see that, yeah, this one, we can use it to space out a little. I thought I put the column headers like that. Maybe this needs to go back tiny wee bits. Okay. But yes, do we need this title, total cost per sale per region? We can already see region, total cost, total sales. So I'm thinking we can take out the title. What do we think? I need suggestion. Should we take that?
Is it possible to leave it without a title?
Yes, we can. It depends. For example, in this case, I can see this is region, total cost, and total sales, you see. So, except there's something else that this is.
That is because you're the one sharing it. What if you're sending the report to somebody?
You see, when your information is the obvious type. Okay. For example, if I'm sending this to somebody, they can easily see that I'm showing them region, their total cost and their total sales. Okay. So, and this is total cost per total cost per total sales per region.
Sales per region.
So now it becomes your call, okay? But this is in itself is self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Now, if I have gone in to do some filters, maybe all I'm showing for this information is just for the month, or just for if there's a particular condition, something else that is not spelled out here that this represents, then I need to state that in a title. For example, if this is I filtered this to top 5 commission earners, I'm showing total cost and total sales for these regions only based on top 5 commission earners. I've got to state that there so that the person doesn't assume that they are looking at everything. But in this case, we didn't do that. They're actually looking at everything. We didn't filter anything out. So we'll be on the safe side. But if there are things that they need to know about a visual, which are not easily seen, only you that made the visual know it, then you've got to state it out. You could even need to state it out in writing if there is not enough space. Okay. Then to make this number easily readable, we'll need to go back in and add the comma separator so that they read that well. So that's 4,414,882 for the first one. I'll do the same for the second one. Okay. And that looks a lot better. So let's save that. We can copy this formatting here now and just, okay, so that needs, I need to bring this in a little. I want that C to go with, I don't want commission. Average number of, I'll come back to that. I need for each of the word at least, you see how average the commission, the CO, I need it to be on the same line with that so that it doesn't look somehow. But yes. The way this operations manager reads is good. Average commission amount, number of sales, those are fine. But this, my average commission is not, it shouldn't be left like that. Okay, they're a bit fairer than before. Average commission, but still I would rather have all the commission below, okay, than the way I'm looking at them now. But yes, we can see.
Sorry,
yeah.
can you use just AVG instead of average? So that I can still.
Oh, yes, we can. I see AVG on here. Yes, thank you. So we can go back into, yes, we can change the name for that here, just for this visual. So if I right click, it says rename for this visual, and we can change that to AVG. AVG, thank you very much for that. And that works well. Change now. What happened? AVG. I need to press enter. Is that what the problem is? Okay. Okay, that's changed now. And that can then, the end can come back up. That's better. We can. I think there's more space on here that can be used up a little. Yeah, that's better. And this 518K total cost of exception, isn't it? This is total. So this one now, that total cost does not cut it. It's total cost of exceptions. So we need to put a title that this total cost is actually total cost of exceptions. Okay. Title needs to come up, and we can total cost of exceptions. It's already written itself out. I can bolden it up. And I'm going to remove that call out, that total costs, the label, so that they know it's total cost of exception. Okay, and we can, it's all right for us to, under visual, the call out value, we can just remove this so that we have a proper total cost. We have a proper number like that, you know, and that's that. Okay, and we'll just be left. We are going now. Sorry, we took this long. We can finish off the rest of the formatting. This doesn't have a title yet, so we'll see what we can do about the title. Profit by dates, I see. I'm going to save it there, and